Let's talk about actually our upcoming races. Tabor Cross coming up. What do we know about this race, Jonny? You've actually done this one before. Tell me your thoughts.
A long, long time ago. Tabor is a traditional stop on the World Cup circuit. It's also been hosted the World Championship several times in the Czech Republic. It's a I would say it's a traditional cross course. It's got a little bit of sort of something for everyone. Some stair run ups, some big barriers that are known for the best riders hopping them. They're really tall. They're slightly uphill. Michael Ventorno had a breakout victory there last year. It's a good, solid all-around cross course and a traditional course. I don't think anything else really jumps out at me about Tabor, but it's a course that the riders know, and the riders are familiar with it. And we've been talking about this expansion of the World Cup, and there's going to be some races coming up that are new to the World Cup, maybe even new races. But this is one of the traditional ones. This is the one the riders know. If they like it, if they hate it, if they do well there, if they struggle with it, it's a known entity. And it's going to be, live and on demand right here on FloBikes. And better believe I'll be watching. And then following that, it's a race that I get personally really excited about, is going back to Dunecross in Koksijde. Probably one of the most stunning races to watch. The TV doesn't do it justice for just how hard it is to ride around that course. The sand is so deep. It is really a special race. It's a very traditional race again. And, on the men's side, no one really stands out as a sand specialist. On the women's side, for sure, Denise Betsema, very good in the sand. It's kind of her playground. And, these will be the next 2 weekends of some really good World Cup action here on FloBikes.
Yeah, I'm very excited about Koksijde in 2 weeks. But I will say, you mentioned Betsema as being her strength with the sand. And, I would say she's definitely a favorite for me as well for that race. But, the last time they held this race in 2019, they didn't have it in 2020 because of the pandemic and the condensed World Cup schedule. Celine Alvarado went out there and dominated. And so is this going to be a race that she's going to come out and try and go for the win again? I mean, I think we just alluded to it a few minutes earlier that, she's starting to come into form, and that, whereas everybody's been racing, 8-9 weeks, however many weeks it's been now, Celine has cut that schedule in half and is saying, hey, every week I'm coming out and I'm having a stronger and stronger progression towards, whatever her goal race, which is, I'm going to assume Worlds. But of course, seeing her come out and get that fourth place at the European Championships and going into Koksijde, knowing this course, knowing that she was the previous winner of the course, is she going to give Betsema a fight there that's going to make this one for the ages?
Well, I think that, we know that Alvarado is coming. Do we have any doubt that she's going to be back standing on top of podiums this year? I don't have any. It's a matter of how the progression goes, and what weekend it'll be where she really starts putting herself in the mix for victory. And it could be. She was so dominant at Koksijde last time, and she is a force to be reckoned with. She has the palmares to back it up, and just where her training is bringing her and where her form is coming. And it'll be exciting as this season progresses as just another rider comes into the mix in these already exciting women's races that we're having already. And then, to that is we're also looking at this on the men's side. Ellie Ezerbitt did not look fantastic at the European Championships. He faded. He was riding his regular race and looked like he's going back to work, and all of a sudden he just doesn't have it when the attacks goes. Is he tired? Has he done too much early? Does he just have an off day? Are we going to see him back? And he's the World Cup leader right now, and the World Cup is so much bigger this year. This is something we've talked about. It's a lot of races to win the World Cup.
Yeah, he came out of the European Championships not even in the top 10, and we been watching him. He did have a technical issue at Overvice the other day with the shoe, pitted, took care of that. We know he can bounce back from those types of things, but seeing him not quite have that race that we were, at least I wasn't expecting him to fall out of the top 10. And, he was right behind, I believe it was, Van Michael for the 2020 version of Tabor. And so, he people are going to be looking at him. It's like, well, we know that you're capable of a top 3, if not a winning, spot here, especially after, we know that he's currently holding on to that lead still. And so, it'll be interesting to see how the men's race plays out this weekend, and whether or not Tabor is going to play to his strengths and show us the Elliot Iserbyt that we know, or if it's going to be kind of a miss and, maybe he's falling out of form. So I guess we'll wait and see this weekend.
I don't think he's fully out of form. It's too early in the season for that. I probably lean more towards he had an off day, and also some of these riders are still reacting to the really tough week they had in the U.S. with the travel and 3 World Cups, which has never been done. And we'll see how he comes out of this and how he responds at Tabor, as he's going to be lining up in the World Cup leader's jersey and with all that weight on his back. And it's going to be, like I said, there's so much racing to go. It'll be fun. And then we still haven't seen a verification of when Mathieu van der Poel or Wout van Aert or Tom Pidcock are actually going to show up at one of these races. There's been rumors swirling. They have been implying, they're giving generalities like they're going to race sometime in November, but no race is pinpointed yet.
Yeah, guess we'll have to wait and see. And then on that note too, before we completely leave the cross world, a shout out to our friends at Northampton Cross this past weekend here in the United States. Our American friends, Curtis White, who we've interviewed and we'll be posting an interview shortly from his experiences early in the World Cup season. He took the wins, and then Canadian Ruby West took the wins on the women's side. So congrats to those elite racers, and congrats to 30 years of your cross race out there. And
yeah, I gotta give a big shout out to Adam Meyerson and his team. 30 years. It's a race I've done several times, including ones back in the 90s. But it's a labor of love, no doubt, and he's still out there racing his own race. So Adam and team, I know it takes a whole bunch of people to put together an event and to keep it going that long. Congratulations from everyone here at Flo.